everyone, this is the Plain Donuts Podcast. It's 2017. Thanks for listening and enjoy the episode.
We did it.
We did it. We did our silence. But you don't know that. That was a good collaborative ghost sound moment, Steve.
The magic of editing sound.
It was great.
Well, welcome to the Plain Donuts Welcome to the Plain Donuts Podcast. I am your co-host, Steve.
And I'm your co-host, Alicia. Welcome. Hey, thanks for joining us. It is 2017.
Oh my gosh.
Our first podcast of 2017.
You know, the fact that you said that just now, I'm already tangenting. But the fact that you said it's 2017, I've been resisting the urge to think that 2016 was, like, the worst year on record or whatever, right? Like, for celebrity deaths, yeah, it was pretty crazy. But other than that, and there was some other stuff, too. We will
not talk about that, yeah.
I don't want to go into it.
Harambe is a very difficult topic for all of us, Steve.
But I've been trying to resist this urge to be like, that was a horrible year. This year can't be worse or whatever. Because I'm like, the only significant difference in the rolling over of the year in actuality is that everybody who follows the Gregorian calendar, which is hopefully most of the world now, everybody who follows that calendar is having a shift to... even if they don't believe in resolutions and stuff, they're still shifting to it's a new year and
new year, new me.
Yeah. So anyway, but really the world just keeps on turning.
Yeah. The world just keeps on turning.
Yeah.
Something burning.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. Anyway, sorry.
I don't even know what that was.
Oh.
I just wanted to stop.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
We didn't start the fire! So that was a little off-key there at the end, sorry. But I didn't... Finally, I'm getting to the point. I didn't think that when I heard somebody say, it's 2017, that I would feel what I felt in that moment when you said that, which was a sense of relief. Yeah. I was like, oh, good Lord, yes it is.
It is 2017.
So I hope you guys all feel that way too. It's a nice feeling, I guess.
Yeah. Personally, mine 2016 has been kind of an emotional roller coaster ride. And I'll just keep talking because you took a sip of coffee.
Okay.
But it's, I don't know, for me, the first part of 2016 was a lot more difficult. I was looking for a job. Right. I was unemployed for 3 months, which was really stressful for me and on all my relationships. But at the end, I was like, oh yeah, I got this new job and I got a promotion and, things are looking up for old Alicia. And now, I don't know, I'm pretty optimistic about 2017 for my own personal life. But I know there are a lot of people that had really rough 2016s, or because of things that we will not mention, they're a little nervous about 2017. So I'm just I'm cautiously optimistic about this year.
I think I will suffice what I have to say in saying the system is complicated enough to keep terrible things from happening usually. Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. I like that. I agree.
I'm not trying to make any broad statements or prognostications, but...
We're painting 2017 with a broad brushstroke.
Yeah, so...
And we're hoping that it all turns out. And I'm doing brushstroke motions.
Yeah, she is.
And I'm doing it really slowly.
They're really beautiful
strokes. It's really nice, yeah. Different strokes for different folks.
So anyway, welcome to 2017. We haven't recorded a podcast for 2 weeks.
Yeah, which is weird.
It was a little weird, and I messaging you today because we both... Did you have today off work?
I did, yeah.
Me too, yeah.
So I was kind of out of it, and then you sent me a message. I'm like, oh yeah, that's happening today.
Yeah.
So...
In sending it, I was like, what if Alicia's just like, I'm not into it anymore.
I'm ditching this podcast. It's 2017. I need a new creative outlet. Just kidding.
1 week off the podcast and you're done.
No way, man.
So anyway, yeah. How was your last couple of weeks holiday session?
It was fun. I spent this Christmas in Las Vegas. So that was pretty different.
Cool. Did you see any butts?
I did not see any butts.
You're so lucky.
Have you seen a butt?
Oh, we've seen so many butts in Las Vegas.
Interesting.
I've been, just for context for that statement, I've been to Las Vegas a whole bunch of times because my parents have a timeshare there that we share with among their children. My brother and sister and I all share the timeshare, so we kind of go back there with some regularity. Yeah. And so I've seen my share of weird stuff in Vegas. Yeah. I was there on Halloween once.
Oh, so nice. That would be pretty interesting.
Plenty of butts.
Yeah. Christmas was really relaxed in Vegas, interestingly enough.
Oh, cool.
Everyone kept kind of doing the same thing. All the restaurants were open. All the shows were still running regularly.
Oh, good. On Christmas Day?
Yeah, on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, we saw Michael Jackson live, not to be confused with Michael Jackson 1, which is the Cirque du Soleil show. Michael Jackson live is just the impersonator, but he did a really good job. I was like, hey, this guy looks like Michael Jackson. He sings like Michael Jackson. And you could tell he wasn't lip syncing because he sounded kind of like Michael Jackson, but not really like it. And, you could kind of hear him take awkward, breaths occasionally because he was dancing pretty vigorously.
Yes.
Not nude. This was not Michael Jackson nude.
Is there
I don't know. There might be, but that's an idea for someone if you want to take that and run with it.
We have a lot of Vegas promoters listening to this podcast, so
it's crazy. But I stayed in this hotel, and it was called the Rumor Boutique Hotel. And I didn't know this at the time, but I got a really good deal. It was like $29 a night, which you can't really beat that for a hotel. So we go there, and
that is a good deal.
Yeah, there's not a ton of people there because it's they're really off season. There was maybe 10 people in the entire hotel that were staying there as guests, and then the chef was just cooking and delivering our food to us personally, and would be like, "Hey, what do you want to eat?" You don't have to have anything.
Was it on the
menu.
Strip or was it?
It was about a half mile off of the Strip, off of the North Strip. So it was still relatively close. And we could have walked if we wanted to, but we were lazy and just took Ubers and Lyfts and stuff.
Oh,
but
okay.
This hotel...
Did you guys fly down or drive down?
We flew, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just because I didn't... In winter, I don't know, it gets kind of funky. And it did snow on Christmas Day, so I'm really glad we didn't have to drive back through that.
Yeah.
But the hotel is apparently known for swingers parties.
Oh.
And swingers conventions.
Oh.
And I was like, I didn't know that they even had a
conventions?
Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, you get a name badge and you just come, do you guys want to come to swingers convention? I'm like, nah, I'm good. No, thanks.
No.
Thank you for inviting
I've seen some documentaries.
I'm flattered.
And everything I've seen about swingers is not great. The guys that are part of swingers groups are usually really pervy looking. And this is no shame. They're also usually fat. I don't know why. I'm a fat person as well. I'm not a swinger. Let's just clear the air of that.
We already established Steve's relationship status in the past.
I know. So anyway, it's funny because I think a lot of people think of the idea of swinging and they're like, ooh, how erotic and foreign, but from what I've seen mostly in documentaries, it's gross,
and for some reason it feels different
I shouldn't judge, but
it feels different from a polyamorous relationship too, because you're kind of sticking around with a couple people.
Yeah.
You know, and you're all hanging out together, which is, you know,
there's a sense of commitment there, right?
Yeah, and who am I to judge a person for what they do in their free time?
Right. So, I am the person who will freely judge. No, I'm just kidding. I try not to judge.
But anyways, invited to a swingers convention, I politely declined. They're having one in a couple days.
Did you confer with Otto before you declined?
He said no. Similar to the instance with when we were watching that Scottish TV show.
Was it that strong of a no?
It was just no.
Oh, yeah, okay. So it wasn't like, no.
No, yeah. Well, that was more like he had to directly like stop that from happening. Yeah. But this was more of a gap so he could more casually say no.
Oh, good.
To go.
Well, I'm glad he said, what if Otto was like, eh?
I would have to really have a conversation and reevaluate what he...
That would be really... I think that's like way outside his personality, right? So like, sure. And you guys have been together for a long time. Yeah. So for him, it would only be a joke. There's no way
that he would be interested in this. I think he even said, no, hell no, no, gross, no.
To those people?
And it wasn't like to the organizer or anything, but she just kind of mentioned, you know, like, oh, are you guys gonna go? And so like, no, thanks. Not my thing to swing. Yeah,
it's not something I could get into.
I could not get into that. Anyway.
Well, and like I don't know. Maybe I'm conditioned by the monarchy, the patriarchy to think this way. But like, I'm a very monogamous person, so. To me, I'm just like, I have a lot of views, and I will not go into them about this. I have so many opinions.
Steve's got lots of views.
Oh, it's bad. I'm so sorry.
Views.
So sorry. And the thing is like, I'm sort of, so I guess we'll get to my side of the last couple weeks or whatever. Christmas was nice. In my family, we celebrate Christmas. It's just what we do. And my side of the family celebrated all of our get-together stuff on Christmas Eve. And that's a pretty small gathering. Me and my brother's family, they're here, and my parents are here. My sister lives in Sicily right now with her husband, who's stationed there. I know, it's fancy.
Yeah.
Sometimes she posts pictures of like amazing old architecture and stuff like that, and just the caption on the picture is like, I live in Italy, and I'm like, why would you just do this?
I should just start taking pictures, you know, like down on the street in front of garbage and saying, I live in Garbage Town. This is where I live, Garbage Town and proud.
Hey, you know, South Ogden has those big water tower things with the giant mural paintings on them. When you drive by that, you're like, this is a nice place.
Yeah, this is a nice area. There's no restaurants or really anything to do.
Yeah, there's like hardly anything in South Ogden.
It's weird, but there's lots of hiking and outdoors things.
Oh, that's true.
So if you do go hiking, there's like beautiful views, but I don't like
Ogden
that.
Ogden kind of like rules though. Like there's a lot of good stuff happening in Ogden.
And I shouldn't even say negative things because it is kind of a cool small town vibe. It's not really a small town, but you know, we have a fun downtown area, and come visit Ogden. Hey, Visit Ogden should sponsor us for this podcast. After I just said we live in Garbage Town.
Hashtag Visit Ogden.
Hashtag Visit Ogden. Hashtag Garbage Town and proud. So.
Garbage Town and proud.
Yeah.
I think, though, like, really Ogden has, especially, like, downtown Ogden, although it does have some sketchy parts, has some cool stuff, too. So, I like it.
Yeah. Visit our Christmas village. It's really fun.
It's not going anymore.
I think is it not?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. It's 2017 now.
Oh, wait, so. I don't know what's happening yet. I'm still so disoriented from this year shift.
The year shift has got me all off my game.
Yeah.
So anyway, Christmas was good. We did that stuff with my family, and then my wife's family, which is a much larger gathering of people. They all came to our house on Christmas Day, which they also did on Thanksgiving. But it's really nice. We have a new house this year. We mentioned that once, but it's got more room, and it's really nice to be able to have people.
Whoa! Are you
Excuse me, I had a hiccup. Whoa. I apologize for these bodily functions happening while the podcast is going. No, but it's really nice to have people over and to have room for all the people. And my wife, like, she's an introvert, like through and through, but she loves to host for some reason. So, like, as long as the people eventually leave and she can relax.
I mean, I'm introverted and I like to host, and I think what it is because I can, like, I don't have to go anywhere after. Yeah. And I'm in control of the situation.
Oh, that's true.
So if I'm like, leave, like, you have to leave unless you want to be a jerk, and then you're not my friend. Yeah. You're just going to be a jerk like that.
Well, and realistically, if the host is telling you to leave, there's either something wrong or it's time to go.
It's time to go home,
and I don't know. It's hard because people might be like, well, that was kind of rude of them to just tell us to leave, but you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was fun. It was nice. Yeah, so then I actually took the next week off from work because the way it works out is I can take 4 days of PTO and get like 10 days in a row off.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I do this every year because I love doing it. And like my sort of goal was to like, I have a lot of other projects happening right now, things that I'm trying to get done in the podcast and like all kinds of stuff. I had to put together last week's episode of Memories.
Go listen to it if you haven't.
That's a good name, Episode of Memories.
That sounds like a good movie title too.
Oh yeah.
I'd watch that.
That's true. Anyway, so I had to put that together, and I kind of like wanted to treat it a little bit like a job in the sense that I wanted to like get up and like exercise if it was exercise day, and then just like get started and do all these things, and that never works out because I'm not home during the day normally, and so my wife was like, we gotta go do these things, and so we only have one car. She doesn't normally leave during the day, so she likes to take that opportunity to have my time to go do various things. We had to take stuff back after Christmas and all kinds of crap, but anyway, it was really fun. I did get some stuff done. So that's nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's about how it went. We had one question that came through on the Plain Donuts page from Sarah, who's a constant supporter. Sarah rules. Yeah. She has a podcast called the Geek Parenting Podcast that she's part of. And then she also has, I think it's called Geeks for Justice.
Huh.
It's another podcast / venture that she just recently started. But anyway, Sarah's great. She asked us what we got for Christmas.
Ooh, what did I get for Christmas? I got a vacuum.
Oh, nice.
And I was actually really stoked because I bought this vacuum from Amazon, and it was like a $30 vacuum.
Yeah.
Because I'm a cheapo and I want to spend a ton of money.
Right.
And Otto was like, I hate this vacuum. This is the worst vacuum. I'm like, why are you complaining? You don't even use the vacuum. Like, why are you so passionate about this? But I think he was just trying to set me up for to get ready to receive the nice vacuum. Yeah. So I took a picture with it, and maybe I'll post it later on our podcast page. But it's me smiling next to my brand new Dyson vacuum.
Oh, nice!
Like, this is so nice.
Dyson vac. We have one that we bought. It's probably been 3 or 4 years now, but it's awesome because of the technology inside. Yeah. It never loses its suction, and you could take it apart and like put the pieces in the dishwasher and clean it up, and basically, if you just keep it maintained, it'll last like forever. Yeah. We love it.
It's like a future vacuum.
Hashtag Dyson sponsorship.
Yeah, please sponsor us.
We're just so thirsty for sponsors. It's so bad. Oh. We're the worst podcast. Actually, I really love this podcast.
I like our podcast. We're just a thirsty podcast. It's all hashtag Lin-Manuel Miranda. Tweet me back, please.
He'll notice eventually.
If I mention him every single episode, he's bound to
eventually be like,
okay, who's this person?
Oh, it must be Thursday, the day I get my Plain Donuts tweet.
Yeah, my Thirsty Thursday Plain Donuts tweet. From this girl who I've never met in my life.
I know. So. And I happen to know because I'm weirdly stalkery on the internet. Sorry guys. I happen to know that Lin-Manuel is, he's a big fan of the My Brother and Me podcast. He was on it once, and I guess he's friends with the McElroy brothers. And so it's just really interesting because the
The McElroy
brothers produce some of my like favorite podcasting content, so it's just fun to be like, oh, I like them and I liked this thing separately, and now I know they're connected. It's the same thing that happened with Lin-Manuel Miranda and Patrick Rothfuss, because I loved the Name of the Wind novels, and then I found out that Lin-Manuel Miranda was like a big fan.
She's just itching to be our friend, Steve.
Well,
it's 6
true.
degrees of separation, right?
Our degrees of separation are getting pretty short.
Yeah.
Actually, I sent a tweet to Jesse Thorne, who is the guy who owns the Maximum Fun Podcast Network, which my brother and me guys are part of, and so he tweeted back to me. Did tweet so back. Now I'm like 2 degrees away from Lin-Manuel Miranda.
And speaking of that, I actually got Shannon got me the Hamilton book, Hamilton American Revolution book for Christmas. And that was another thing that I was really excited about. But anyways, all that to say, good Christmas on my end. Got some great gifts. Lin-Manuel Miranda 2017, tweet us back.
That's awesome.
That's a really long hashtag, but...
It's a really good one. Anyway, this is the year of us, inching our way continuously toward Lin-Manuel Miranda.
We're just climbing that mountain ever so slowly, but we're going to get there.
I guess he's moving to London.
Why?
For work, something for work, because basically... this is going to show some more of my stalkeriness, but my brother and me put together a television show for CISO, which is like a...
Oh, that's that new network,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's an alternative television network, kind of. Not alternative television, but alternative to
television.
Regular television, yeah. So anyway, they have a Bim Bam show now that's coming out next year, and Lin-Manuel Miranda tweeted about it when the teaser trailer came out, and he was like, you better get in London before this comes out, because I don't want to miss it. So apparently he's going to be in London at that time.
That's so crazy.
So what I'm saying is...
we're need to book tickets to London as soon as possible.
No. Jeez. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying. We're inching our way toward Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he's like, I'm going to London to see you guys.
He's trying to get away from us or something.
Jeez.
So we just have to get a podcast episode on a disc. And then we can be like those guys, listen to my mixtape, you know? And we'll, throw it at him. And he'll be like, oh, I'll listen to it. And then he'll, hand it to his assistant, who will throw it away. Yeah. But at least he'll have touched it, right? And he'll be like, oh, here's a crazy girl who really wants to talk to me. That's cool, I guess.
Nice.
So.
Man. I can't imagine what he thinks about if he ever notices that we have been talking about frickin' Lin-Manuel Miranda every episode for 16 episodes.
Fault. That is my fault, 100%. I'm sorry.
If he ever notices, he'll be like, what in the world is this?
Lin-Manuel Miranda podcast.
Oh, it's so dumb. I mean, I love Lin-Manuel Miranda and would cherish his friendship, but it's just a weird thing.
Yeah.
So my wife got me a book for Christmas. Ooh. It's called Tequila Mockingbird.
Ooh.
And it's a whole bunch of literature, pieces of literature, the names of them, made cleverly into drink names. And so there are quotes from the book and then recipes for the drink. Oh, that's cool. So
it's like a cocktail recipe book based off of literary classics.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Harper Lee.
Oh, yeah. So anyway.
2016 took another
2016. So anyway.
Yeah.
Great.
Good Christmas gifts.
Well, I also got a Keurig, which is kind of cool.
And it's in Steve's pantry, which I was really excited about because I never thought that could be a thing.
Yeah, we have. So the story goes, my wife hates having just
small appliances,
domestic stuff on the counter for some reason. She wants it to be nice looking. I don't know why you would want that. No, I'm just kidding. No, but she doesn't think that appliances look nice on counters, and we don't have a hanging microwave. We just have one that would go on a counter. So when we had the house built, because we're fancy, I feel stupid saying that, but It's not that fancy. It's just through a regular builder. Lots of people do it. The houses aren't that expensive. Calm down.
We're not making that much money from this podcast, okay?
You're right. We're not making that much money.
We're making negative money, in fact.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yep.
Yep.
So anyway, we keep complaining. It's stupid. But when we had the house built, we had an outlet put into the pantry for the microwave. Because she didn't want it on the counters, so the pantry was a good place for it, and that's where we had it in our last house. And so when we got the Keurig, she's like, I thought you would keep it in the office maybe? And I was like, that's a weird place for a Keurig. Like, that's where I had my old tiny one that was kind of bad and I eventually ruined, was in my office, but it was sort of a hassle, and like when water would get places, I'd be like, what do I do now? So I was like, maybe we could keep it in the pantry because there's another plug in that outlet. And she's like, that's a good idea. Yeah. So that's where we kept it.
So that's how I learned Steve made a cup of coffee in his pantry.
Yeah, it's really nice because I don't have to... The other thing that's really interesting is I got $30 in Starbucks gift cards for Christmas, but I have a coffee maker now, so I'm like, but I don't need to go to Starbucks because of this guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a good one.
Wanted to take a really quick break in the middle of the podcast to say thanks for listening. We always really love to hear feedback and questions, confessions from you every week, and Steve and I really look forward to that. So thank you. If you like us, which we hope if you've gotten this far that you do, we always really appreciate it if you can take a moment to like us on iTunes, leave a quick review, give us that little 5 stars, and maybe even share it with your friends if you like us that much. If you ever have questions for us, you can always tweet us at Your Plain Donuts, that's YOUR, Plain Donuts, or send us a Facebook message, or we have a website, yourplaindonuts.com, and we will answer your question on the next episode, I promise. Again, thank you so much for listening, and enjoy the rest of the episode.
Okay, so we are like 25 minutes in. We should probably do the 2016 wrap up questions if you want to.
Let's do it.
Do you because I asked a bunch of kind of stupid 2016 wrap up questions.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, your first question was, what is the best YouTube video you watched in 2016?
My best YouTube video, and I asked these questions not knowing what I would answer to them. I was just like, what is it? So, the best YouTube, it wasn't one of my own videos. I'm not like that. No, it was praying mantis two-fisting bees. It's pretty fantastic. It's literally a praying mantis eating 2 bees.
Oh, nice.
So we'll post
praying
that.
mantises really freak me out.
We might post that video. It's pretty good.
Some of my favorite videos are that Planet Earth video with the lizard and the snakes.
Yes.
I thought that was really good. Very suspenseful. Another one is...
Oh, man! That video was great!
Yeah.
We should pause because I saw that video and I was like, this is crazy! It's like the best editing of any nature thing ever.
Made a Michael Bay version.
Oh, no!
So anytime like a snake would be going for this lizard, if you haven't seen it, it's essentially this baby lizard trying to get up to this high point of rock, and there's hundreds of snakes everywhere trying to kill it, and it's insane.
Yeah.
So anytime a snake in this Michael Bay edit would try and go for the lizard, it would explode. I mean, it wouldn't, they wouldn't they would just put an explosion over the top of it, but it was pretty funny.
Nice.
So that was one of my favorite videos. But yeah, that was insane. It was like, I didn't think I could get so invested in a nature documentary.
I sent it to my wife and I'm going to spoil it for you. You'll just have to... We'll try to link this stuff so you could just go to those links. But anyway, the part where the snakes catch him.
Oh, yeah.
I sent that to my wife, and that's the middle of the video, right? And so when she saw that, she's like, oh, why'd you send this to me? This is sad. And then the lizard escapes. And it's like, what is this plot twist?
Yeah. It was crazy. It was really good. It's good stuff. Good video.
Yeah. Do you have any others?
Another one? Probably.
Great TED Talks or anything?
Nothing as intellectual as that, Steve.
Of course not. Well, mine was a praying mantis two-fisting bees.
Mine is there's two more. There's one that came out a while ago, but it's always one I like to circle back to and watch again. It's The Man on a Buffalo. Or Guy in a Buffalo. It's really funny. I'll link it in our our Facebook page.
Sure.
But it's I'll call it a hillbilly opera of a man who rides a buffalo in the Wild West.
Nice.
And that's all I will say. And it's amazing.
Okay.
And you got to watch it. So Man on a Buffalo.
I haven't seen it. I'm excited.
And then also, I like that Pen Pineapple video.
Oh, you like that one?
I liked it. I thought it was funny. It's really just a stupid, out of the mess that was 2016. Some fun stuff came out of it. That's just, you watch it and it's dumb and it's entertaining. So
it is.
Pen Pineapple.
The worst part about I liked that video. I thought it was fine. The worst part about those videos are people like quoting them to you and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, can we just like let it live the way it's supposed to live?
I think I'm one of those people because only to certain people because. Mostly to Otto, because I love to bother him. Because, that's what you do when you're in a relationship with someone for a long time, is you annoy them as much as possible and see how long it takes for them to threaten to divorce you.
I hope that doesn't happen.
But he'll be almost asleep, and then I'll lean over and we're in bed and I'll say, pen, pineapple, apple, pen. Just like before he goes to sleep. He's like, oh, why'd you do that? It's just like a really annoying thing to do.
Pineapple, apple, pen.
Yeah.
Like a good whisper.
Yeah.
That's what I try to do when I'm like seducing my wife. Just go to her ear, pen, pineapple, apple, pen.
And she's like, whoa.
And she's like, this is the stupidest thing that's ever happened. My wife is like immune to seduction, so it's pretty good.
Are you okay, Steve?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just she's just like, that's BS. Don't give me this romance crap.
Just give me that towel from Target that I wanted.
Pretty much, yeah. So anyway,
love languages are all different.
Ours are like wildly different. If you've ever read The 5 Love Languages, it's good. If you haven't read it, you should read it because it will illuminate all your future relationships for you. But my wife's primary love language is receiving gifts. And for the record, that's not a selfish thing in the sense that it's not like the value of the gift doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. The fact that you thought of her is what matters, right? So, but I just never think about that stuff. Yeah. And like, so I'm just not very good at being like the primary love language speaker. I'm always like, oh, I forgot that I was going to get you a thing from this place. And like, it's really bad. I'm also very absent-minded. So if I make a plan in my mind, I'll immediately forget it.
So what's yours then?
My primary love language is physical touch. And she's really pretty bad at that. She's getting better. Like, she knows that that's the thing. So she tries to be accommodating. My secondary love language is words of affirmation, and she's really terrible at that. Like, because it's very uncomfortable for her to like say what she feels. Yeah, like that's like way outside of her comfort zone. So maybe someday, but like for now, it's like she just, it's just funny. But anyway, so. Yeah. All the stuff that is involved in like it's seduction, like physical touch and words of affirmation. She's like,
that doesn't really do it for me. I don't
care about that crap. Like, do you have anything for me? Yeah. And number 2, are we spending quality time together? Because that's her number 2. Yeah. So anyway,
that's funny. Yeah, I think Otto's is his number 1 is, I think it's the same as you. It's physical touch? Physical touch and words of affirmation, and mine are acts of service, and I think gifts is the second one. So I really love to give like little gifts and, and bring things over. But Yeah, for acts of service. And I was just thinking about this, because when I came over today to Steve's house, Melissa had made extra food because she knew I was coming over. And I'm like, oh, that's so touching to me. That's so nice. I love this so much. And
that's great.
So that was,
you got to eat our 666 calorie meal with us.
I did. It was great because I only had...
It was devilishly delicious.
Vanilla Coke and some crackers.
Oh, jeez.
I was eating my leftover... New Year's party foods.
Yeah,
so.
we had baked barbecue chicken because I requested it.
Oh, you need to tell this
because
story.
Yesterday we went to Chili's with her parents, and Chili's has this new thing. I know some of you out there are going to be like, Chili's? Why are you going to some stupid chain restaurant? And calm down.
Tom, you need to just let Steve live his life.
I know. So judgmental. Anyway, sorry. You're not that judgmental. You're a nice person. Just get off your high horse. So anyway, we were at Chili's, and they have this thing where it's like a smoked deal where you pick two meats and they give you like a thing called street corn, which is really delicious.
Ooh, I love that.
And some fries and some pickles. So I ordered, the two meats that I chose were the chicken crispers. They didn't taste very smoked. I suspect that they were just like the regular chicken crispers.
The plot thickens.
But anyway.
Explain yourself, Chili's.
I ordered chicken crispers and barbecue chicken. So, and because we've been counting calories and because I can't really eat as much as they give you, I intentionally left my chicken. I did not touch it. I was like, I wanted to. Like, I was really hungry, and I was like, I want to eat this chicken, but I was like, I'm going to eat it later for dinner so that I can spread out this calorie consumption. And so I did not eat the chicken. And then we boxed it up, and we left, and we drove away. And I forgot to put the chicken in the car. It was on top of the car.
So sad.
And I heard this like clunk clunk, and it wasn't that dramatic of a noise, but it was enough to notice. And I looked in my rearview mirror, and the chicken had fallen off the top of the car. And I was like, no, my baked chicken that I didn't touch intentionally is gone. This smoked delicious barbecue chicken, and there's no going. You can't like stop and run out to get your chicken or whatever. So
it just.
In fact, I thought about stopping and running to get the chicken. I was like, no, my chicken.
I really, if I was there with you, Steve, I would have gotten out of the car and directed traffic away from your chicken.
I appreciate
so that you could have gotten it. So.
But anyway, so I was like, Melissa, can we please have some barbecue chicken tomorrow night? She's like, sure, because she likes to be accommodating like that. So that's what we made and had for dinner, and that's what Alicia got to partake in.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So and
thanks.
It was like quite low calorie, which is a good thing for what we're trying to do. I still have like 40 more pounds to lose, so we're getting there.
We're on the right track.
We're getting there.
Let's see. That was a pretty in-depth for our gifts.
It was.
We talked about, gifts as in love language gifts,
and
also gifts that we got for Christmas.
Do you know what else though? I still kind of feel sad about that chicken.
I mean, it's chicken that you could have had, but you never had, and then you had to have another chicken.
Yeah.
But the first chicken's still gone.
To be honest, the baked barbecue chicken that my wife made is probably better, and it probably tastes better. But it's still one of those things where it's like, dang it, I had that and now I don't.
Yeah. I feel that.
Do we have more 2016 stuff, don't we?
So, bangiest banger of 2016.
The bangingest banger. Oh, it's got to be Satisfied. The Hamilton remix.
Oh, yeah?
The Sia version. It's so good.
It is pretty good.
It's so good.
I like Sia, actually. I think she's a good artist.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think the Hamilton mixtape is overall pretty good. There's some I'm like,
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, no, I don't particularly love the whole thing.
Yeah.
But that song is so good to me.
It's solid. I think the bangiest banger...
Is it called Satisfied? Is that the one?
Satisfied, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I didn't misname it.
My favorite banger of 2016 was this sausage I had in... No, just kidding. That was
nice bringing that joke back.
Yeah. Mine was probably... I really have been liking The Weeknd. The Weeknd.
Oh, yeah. The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
I think you can just say it like the regular word.
Yeah.
Even though the vowels are weird,
yeah,
but whatever.
it's kind of weird, yeah. But I've really been liking his stuff. And he dropped an album, like, I think in December or something. And there was a song called Starboy on it. Yeah. And I love that song.
Starboy's a good song.
I'm like, this is like I'll like turn up the bass in my little car. It's I don't have a super intense sound system. It's just the standard whatever that's in the car. But I'm like driving down the highway listening to Starboy.
Nice.
Feeling like a celebrity. That's the song that
it makes.
Like, this is
thinking
song.
About that song makes me want to sing it.
Yeah.
My brother has a theory, and he would talk about it better. But the theory is about song strength and like how strong a song is to like wash your mind of things. And so Starboy has some pretty good strength because when you think of it, you think of that chorus.
Yeah.
I'm a Starboy or whatever.
Starboy.
Yeah, he says cuss words in it. And
he
it
says
makes me happy.
cuss, and then we don't say that on it. We were just talking about this actually before we started recording about how we don't do swears.
Yeah, well,
we did a couple swears when it's relevant.
I think you said hell earlier in this one.
No, we did.
You said a very minor swear.
I said is hell a swear? I guess some people consider that a swear.
Yeah, well, and growing up in very conservative Utah, yes, hell was considered a swear.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's one of those things where I'm like, I am never offended by cussing. There's a rare occasion where I'm just like, this is a little over the top, but like I'm never offended by it, but I said this to you. I have a lot of like very conservative friends or people who would maybe not even conservative, but who would be shocked at the sound of cursing, right? And so we try to make the podcast accessible for all types of people. So
you're welcome.
Yeah. And if you think self-censorship is bad, grow up a little bit. You have to do that.
Drop us a tweet or something
if
you want to disagree.
Come at us.
But be really nice because I'm really sensitive.
I don't care. You can say what you want. You can tell me it.
Tweet Steve and then just leave me off of it. You can maybe at me.
Yeah. So, interestingly, Hank Green, who we've mentioned before, he... I'm sorry, this is going to get slightly political, but only for the brief moment to give you context of what he actually was saying later. Donald Trump tweeted this thing about like Happy New Year to everyone.
All the haters.
Even my enemies who lost so badly they didn't even know what to do. Anyway.
Yeah, that was such a massive tweet.
Oh, man. Hank Green tweeted back and said, "You are bad at being human." That was his tweet, right? And then later he had a thread of tweets about how he really didn't think anybody would see that tweet, but it happened to end up as the topmost reply to Donald Trump's tweet. Yeah, and so like, so a lot of people saw it, and he was like, it was kind of reactionary, and I feel bad a little bit for saying it because like I don't want to be known for that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And somebody was responding to him. This is how stalkery I get on the internet. Sorry, guys. But somebody was responding to him saying, like, you shouldn't censor yourself because we need your powerful voice to speak out against these bad people or whatever.
Yeah.
And Hank Green basically said, I don't think me censoring my message limits my voice. And I was like, that's so true and such a mature answer.
Yeah.
Everybody on the internet is a baby. I love the Green Brothers. So...
Hashtag Green Brothers.
Oh, man. The Green Brothers are the best.
I'm not a huge fan of Hank Green's writing, his books.
John Green. That's John Green.
Sorry, not
Hank Green's the other brother.
Hank Green's the other one that has the dog that died, and I cried a lot. Sorry, I got confused. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of his writing, but I really enjoy the Vlogbrothers.
Yeah.
And... I feel like they have some good things to say.
Yeah, well, and it's such an easy thing to consume because they limit themselves to 4 minutes in a Vlogbrothers video. So, and they produce, I think, 2 a week.
Yeah.
And so like, it's just really easy to be like, yes, they popped out a new video, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And they always have a very reasoned, pretty moderate opinion and stance on things, and I really appreciate it, because in a world of people who are very reactionary and extreme, it's nice to hear like a straightforward, simple voice, right? That's not like everything's horrible. No, everything's wonderful. Yeah. It's like they're just very like this is the way it actually is in the world.
This is the thing that's happening, and it is what it is.
Yep, I like that. So, Bangin' Bangers of 2016 we went through. Man, I am like stumbling over words tonight. Sorry, everybody.
Let's see. Okay, next one. Best instance of shade being thrown or diss being dealt.
Ooh, yes. My favorite shade thrown of the year, and I'm sorry, again, this is a little political, but I don't even remember what Donald Trump said, but Hillary Clinton replied to him and said, delete your account. Yeah. And I was just
and I wonder, because I know it probably wasn't her. It probably was just some intern that was like responding from her account. But it was like
her social media manager or
it's
whatever.
Like a legendary. Like,
so good.
It's good, yeah.
Good.
I can't think of a better one. I mean, there are some pretty good ones. I don't know. There's always some celebrity nonsense happening.
Yeah.
Oh, I think, was it the Taylor Swift and Kanye thing that happened in 2016? Do you know about that?
I don't. Not the. I'm gonna let you finish. That was a long time ago, Alicia.
Yeah. It was. So he dropped a new album.
Yeah. He did. Oh yeah, Life of Pablo. Right.
Yeah, and then so it's like I made that bitch famous. That's what he said.
Oh right.
I'm dropping a swear because that's what he said in his.
It's fine.
Thing. So. He drops this album, and so then she goes on like this later music awards saying, even though he's still doing these crazy things and being so rude to me, like I'm still, not gonna let it affect me, blah, blah, blah. So of course Kanye is again like looking like a douchebag, and Taylor Swift, people are like, oh, she's so strong and such a good person to look up to, such a strong female person, squad goals, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So anyway, this was like on a crazy Snapchat thing. So after that happens...
Oh, that's why I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, okay. And so that happens, and then on Snapchat, Kim Kardashian West, who's married to Kanye West, drops these videos where Kanye West called Taylor Swift to ask her permission to put these lines about her in his new song. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh yeah, that's totally cool. It's fine. Yeah. So, essentially, Kim Kardashian was like, why are you saying that you're like some kind of, victim when you originally agreed that this was fine and you were okay with it, and now you're acting like it was like some feud. And so then... after all that, people are, like, freaking out, right? Taylor Swift doesn't say anything about it. She, goes dark on her social media. So dramatic, right?
Yes.
And people are posting snake emojis on her Instagram account.
Oh, no.
Like, millions of snake emojis.
So many snakes.
Snakes, yeah.
So sad.
And they're like, you're just a snake, Taylor. And so, I don't know, that wasn't necessarily, like, diss or shade, but that was just, like, a crazy, like, celebrity thing to happen, because Taylor Swift is known for being kind of like this model musician celebrity, doesn't do anything wrong, always, is kind of like the person people...
Other than being like a really bad girlfriend, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. And then, there was like drama with her other boyfriend, and...
we can't make this podcast much about celebrities.
But it was just... That was crazy.
We can't do that.
It was a crazy celebrity year.
Yeah,
it was Taylor Swift. It was nuts.
So anyway, was there anything else that any other questions I asked?
One more.
Our 2016 wrap up that's taken 46 minutes.
Let's see. Let me go to, because I think I posted, or I'll look at you, because I think I asked you a question.
You didn't.
Let me see. I did not. I thought I did.
What would it have been? Oh, you did. That's right. You did. The question you asked was, and it's a really good one. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
You've been selected to fight someone to the death, but can't use a traditional weapon. What do you pick to fight with?
Ooh.
Do you have an answer to this question?
I pick, you know, when you have wrapping paper and you unroll it and you have the roll, like solid. Yeah. That's pretty solid.
If it's nice wrapping paper,
nice,
yes.
Yeah. Then you'll have a solid. It's like kind of a plastic.
Yeah.
I will pick that. Okay. Just because, you know, it's really annoying.
It's a good...
And I can potentially, you know, if I break off a sharp piece of plastic on it, I could, like, stab someone.
Sure, yeah.
So, and it's got a pretty good distance. It's also really funny to visualize someone fighting someone to the death with a wrapping paper roll. Like...
I mean, it's basically a lightsaber fight.
Exactly, yeah. For children, but you actually have to kill someone in the end.
Oh, jeez. So, my friend Sheldon said a Stretch Armstrong, which is just a Stretch Armstrong action figure. Awesome. I have two answers to this question. Yeah. My first and most viable answer is a kitchen. Because... Given all the utensils in a kitchen, I could do some real serious damage.
I'm just imagining we're like in some futuristic world, right? And then I'm like, I pick toilet paper wrapping roll.
Wrapping paper roll.
And you're like, kitchen. And then they just materialize. So you have an entire kitchen behind you. And I have this wrapping paper roll to fight you and your kitchen. And that's just a really funny visual to me.
This kitchen and me. Hashtag squad goals.
Take that, Taylor Swift.
So anyway, the other thing that I have, this piano that I have in my office, this Wurlitzer stage piano, has old legs that screw in, so it's got 4 of them, and they're like steel.
So you're essentially picking like baton... like a substitute baton. Yeah. Okay.
I used to carry them in my trunk, and I like, it was like, if I ever if it ever has to go down from here, I've got the best thing. Because, like, somebody could pull out their, like, dumb little knife or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah? I basically have a metal club. Are you ready for this?
Right.
You know, like...
You brought a knife to a piano fight, sucker.
So anyway, those are some really, really good non-traditional weapons.
That's fun.
Some other questions that were asked. My friend Nicole, she goes by Cola, and I've known her since she was a teenager, and she hates this about our relationship. But I can't think of her as anything but Nicole. And like, so no matter how she changes her name, or if people call her Cola or whatever, which they do, I'm sure. I'm just like, oh, that's my friend Nicole.
And she's like, ah.
She hates it. It's okay. She has like 13,000 Instagram followers or something. Wow. So she's fine without me calling her a special name. Anyway.
Hey, you wanna talk about us on
No,
Instagram
stop
page?
it. Shh. I do not abuse my friendships that way unless they want to be abused that way. Like that.
What do you think, Cola?
Nice. Anyway, she said, and this is actually kind of clever of her, she said, what am I supposed to have questions about? Which was her question, right? And I was like, this is a good question, but also, like, questions about the new year might be good or whatever. But she's right. Like, we very rarely give direction about, like, what we want the episode to be about, and maybe we could experiment. And next time say, we want to talk about X thing. What are your questions about this, right?
We want to talk about relationships.
Oh, no, please.
Steve and Alicia's relationship podcast.
I would be really good at relationship advice for people who agree with me.
And I'll do the other part. I'll disagree with all of Steve's advice. It'll be totally really interesting.
Fine. That's totally great. And so that's another thing actually about this year that I meant to say earlier is, and I'm not doing it on purpose. Yeah. I'm kind of like a person that I don't really like the idea of New Year's resolutions. One of my friends said that they kind of set you up to fail, and I was like, that's kind of true. Yeah. But I am sort of embracing the idea of the new year being like sort of a restart, or even just sort of a fresh look at things. And one of the things that I'm noticing about various aspects of my life is that I sort of let either culture or people or whatever dictate what I do, right? And so when I'm talking about, I need to kind of censor my opinion about relationships or whatever, part of me now is going, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Just state your opinion. Some people will agree. And I'm like, no, but I want everyone to agree.
No, Steve.
It's really bad. And the thing is like I am a person, I'm a very people-pleasing kind of person. I really do want everyone to like me. Even if we disagree, like, I want you to like me. And the easiest way for people to like me is for us not to disagree, right? And so, like, that it's really limiting because those people who are willing to just, like, state their opinion strongly, they tend to be, I think, more like attractive people to listen to in the sense that, like, that guy has things to say. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't really have much to say about anything, even though I have a lot to say about everything. I just don't want to offend my friends, and so it's a rough,
it's a
I'm
cycle.
going through a rough phase. But one of those things is I want to try and, like, I want to take more responsibility for my own life, like, rather than saying, I'm going to let that dictate how I act. I want to say, no, how should I act? And then I will do that and not let all these other things dictate it, or like, I want to make decisions to do things and not just wait for something to make me do a thing. Right. So that's something I'm working on for the new year. Thanks for the question, Nicole.
Thanks, Cola.
But yeah, I think that's a clever and also kind of like...
That's an insightful question for us to think about.
She is really smart and very helpful when it comes to, like, that kind of stuff. She finds little ways of improving things very well, and I like that. I appreciate the way she approached it too.
Yeah.
Not like, well, you should tell us what to ask about. Like, asking it in a way where it's like, haha, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I know what you really mean, but I appreciate the soft approach.
Yes. I like that, because I'm, as I said, sensitive. So, Sheldon asked, and I thought this was hilarious, and this might be our last question. I'm not sure how much time we have.
We're at about 54 minutes.
Okay, so this will be it. He asked, why? And you said, ooh, good one.
Yeah. Well, it's because the thing is like, why?
Why?
Why anything?
Yeah.
Why does this podcast exist?
Well, Sheldon, I'll tell you why. This podcast exists because you secretly want to listen to it. Whoa, this is like a Schrödinger's box kind of question. Is it Schrödinger? Schrödinger.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, we made a corrections episode mistake.
Oh, no. Schrödinger's cat? Is that what it's called?
I think it is, yeah.
Schrödinger's cat. Like,
okay.
With the podcast may or may not exist.
Yeah.
You don't know unless you listen to it.
It kind of is that way at this point.
I'm going to say that to people now.
We've been going 100% off of, like, audience interactions.
Yeah.
We really haven't been doing our format of, we have our things where we pick off topics.
Yeah.
So, that's how it is.
Yeah, that's true. It is. It may or may not exist. Yeah. You won't know unless you listen to it.
And that's a great name for our episode.
This episode may or may not exist.
Yes.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it.
We finished.
All right, yeah.
The naming is often the hardest part. So...
because we talk about so many different things.
But the other thing is, like, why does anything exist? Yeah. And to be honest, that's one of my favorite questions in the philosophical world. And I would love to talk about that for the next 45 minutes. But
and Steve's going to talk about that, and I'm going to go.
No, you could really say a lot about that and all the different positions about why things exist, or if you're a nihilist, things don't exist for any reason at all, and kill yourself.
Oh, well, that's a cheery note.
I mean, that's that German guy Nietzsche. He basically came to I think he's German. Man, that would be embarrassing to get wrong. But anyway, he came to the conclusion in one of his books, like, basically said, I don't know why I don't kill myself. I just keep going. And it's like, wow, nihilism seems fun.
Sounds like fun. Oh, jeez.
So anyway, I don't believe that. Yeah. Let's leave it at that because otherwise it's going to get
fun. That sounds like another potential episode for your YouTube, maybe.
Oh, man.
Potentially. I will plug Steve because he won't plug himself. But he made a really great video that I watched just before we started recording, and I would encourage you to listen to it. It's kind of a little bit
now I have to post it like today.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go. You're welcome.
Great.
I'm a pusher.
But not drugs, though.
Yeah. And he just talks about his experiences and his opinions, and it's really, I think it's insightful and valuable, and he's got some good things to say.
Well, thanks.
So, there you go.
It's one of those, this particular one is one of those where I'm like, I typically put things out there, and you'll see if you listen to the episode, but or to the thing. But I typically put things out there with like I pump myself up and get these high expectations about things. This is one where I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna do all that well, really. Like even compared to my other crap, which hasn't done that well. But like I don't know. It's just something that I had on my mind, and I wrote down some stuff, and I put it all together, and I spent a lot of time editing it and color correcting and doing all kinds of crazy work, and nobody ever appreciates it or anything. Just kidding. I'm sorry.
He talks about that more in his video.
Oh man, I don't like. It would be really easy, I think, to get bitter about like trying to put yourself out there for things, and I really actively want to avoid doing that because, like, sometimes we talked about like sometimes it just feels like throwing stuff out into the void, right? And like nobody seems to care, you know. That's not true anymore. Actually, it seems like more and more, especially with this podcast, people are like starting to get on board, right? But it's easy to be like, why?
I want growth now.
Well, and
I want people to pay attention now.
It's also easy to be like, we work hard on this.
Yeah.
Give it, what? Is your attention so valuable that you have to reserve it for something that's perfect? Because I don't know what else to do, you know, and you could just go on and on. Like, it can get frustrating. But we try to be positive about the way forward, because otherwise, I mean, it's not very pleasant to be like, well, everybody sucks.
Yeah. We try and have good
I don't know why I don't kill myself.
I don't know what he sounded like, but dang it if that's not a spot-on impersonation in my mind.
It sounded kind of like Cartman. Sorry about that.
That's kind of what it does.
Anyway. Okay. Well, cool. I guess that's the end of this episode. It was another fun one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have been your co-host, Steve.
And I'm your co-host, Alicia. Welcome to 2017 Plain Donuts. Have a great day.
Okay, bye.